The resistance band archer row is kind of a fun way to integrate in opening up of the hips with upper body pulling. All right, so this wouldn't be an exercise I would just start someone with right away until we've developed some basic coordination. We've worked some pulling, we've worked some other, hip opening exercises. But all right, so I would say this exercise setup wise, generally I want the band somewhere about chest height, maybe rib cage, somewhere in there. You're gonna be able to function from different levels, but I like to just go straight on from about the chest. Setup, you just want enough resistance so that the band is already a little bit tight here. And first thing we're gonna do, we wanna make sure that our foot that's not moving, it stays stationary. And I think that's the biggest thing that people are gonna struggle with as you go to teach this exercise is gonna be where their legs go and move and if they take additional steps in between. Because the challenge here is we're trying to work on this nice controlled opening of the hips at the same time we pull that band across. But what happens is, especially as I go to step back together, this band wants to accelerate me forward. So if I'm doing it and I'm coaching it right, I'm gonna get a lot of just little stabilization in the internal and external rotators of the leg that's forward, all right? Control forward and then back. So as you first start to teach this, I would really encourage your client, take time, pause in between reps so we can get, for one, an idea of how comfortable are they opening those hips. You're gonna find that if someone's really tight in the hips, they're just gonna have a small step versus being really comfortable opening over across. And then I always say, call it an archer because it's like you're drawing a bow or elbowing someone back behind you. Pull that band nice and tight, and then slow controlled step. Try to make it just one move right to the opposite side. Obviously, as they get more comfortable, you can get a little bit faster pace, but I would start them out nice and slow and just really focus on, rather than resistance on the band, the position and the control in the feet and in the hips. And as far as errors you might see, it's probably gonna be most of that. There's definitely some coordination going on here. So some of your clients who may struggle with coordinated movements, this is definitely gonna be a challenge. And just the symmetry of where I'm stepping and how I'm opening up my hips. It's that control versus resetting the feet a couple times and then stepping, opening up across. Last thing you might also see is just where that hand goes. I would say it's an indication of maybe the resistance is too light or too heavy. If it's too heavy, they're not gonna be able to pull that band all the way to the body. If it's too light and they're pulling the hand way up here, then you need the right resistance where they're just pulling right to the shoulder and then controlling back. But really great exercise. You're gonna integrate a little bit of core control and rotation, definitely some hip rotation and stability, and also hitting those lats with a little bit more engaging, fun pulling exercise.